Hey folks, so we are back on the Sons of Attila dev server, taking a look this time at the Super Etendard. This is a new strike jet coming to France. You can see here it's going to be at BR10. You can take a quick look at the stat card if you want, in rank 7, in between the Etendard 4 and the Jaguar A. So there's a few things to look at before we fly it out. First, it gets a really weird radar set. You're gonna see this in a second. It's got a 12-kilometer range, IFF and BVR. It does not have ACM boresight mode, and it's got a really narrow field of view. So that's going to be kind of weird. And on the pilot, you're going to notice something else they added in. Let me see if I can get a better view here. They added in some stats for the radar warning receiver. So if you notice that, it's actually showing, like, types of threats that it's detected, the range on it, how many threat types it's programmed with, how many it can do at the same time, and all that good stuff. So it's going to be interesting. Definitely going to have to update my tutorial with some new info there. You're going to notice for the ballistics computer, right now it has a CCIP for the rockets and bombs, not for the cannons, and no CCRP for the bombs. Again, this is all dev server, so it may change. It also gets a pair of DAFAs. Now, let's take a look at the loadouts. So it carries countermeasures in some inbound pylons, or not really pylons, they're in the fuselage, but they're a loadout option, and you do have to unlock them. You get access to Magic Ones for air-to-air missiles, all kinds of bombs. You get an Atlas II targeting pod with Paveway 2s, and you can take either one or two of them on these pylons. If I show you, you can take one or two Paveways. You also get the unguided rocket pods. Notably missing are exo sets. It's a Super Etendard, and it doesn't have any exo sets. How are you going to troll the Royal Navy with a Super Etendard that doesn't have exo sets? What were they thinking? Ugh! So we're in a test flight with the Super Etendard here. There are a few things to immediately notice. Of course, no WEP, no afterburner on this engine. This is not a fast aircraft. It has kind of crummy acceleration. Its flight performance is not going to be great, so don't expect much there. I want to show you a couple of things with the targeting pod, first of all. You can't tell, but I'm hitting my button, and there are no thermals with this particular targeting pod, so that's a thing. It does have an auto tracker, though, so that's not nothing. I also want to show you... Oh, there it was. We have a cockpit. The cockpit is actually pretty good. The visibility's decent. It's got a radar display in a really good spot, and check that out. It's got the targeting pod view right there displayed in the cockpit, which is always good to see. Most of the other instruments, pretty decent, but I'm most excited about this display right here. That's decent. No visible radar warning receiver, though. Bummer, but what are you going to do? Now, take a look at the radar. It may look at a quick glance, if you don't notice the scanning beam, like this thing has a radar gun sight. It does not. That is actually a regular, fully functional radar set. You can see I can change the range preset between 3 and 15 kilometers. And that's definitely a thing. Let me see if I can get a little closer and lock up that MiG-15 for you. Okay, so we're able to lock up a MiG-15, and of course the scanning angles and the dish range on this radar set, at least as it is on the dev server, very basic. Like, I'm going to lose the track as soon as it flies even slightly outside the immediate field of view in front of the plane. So that's something to be aware of. And you're also going to notice it's got an arrestor hook on the back, at least that's modeled. So this is a naval jet, so in theory, it should be able to do carrier landings. All right, let's take it out into a mission. All right, it put us into the new map, the Rocky Pillars map, so you didn't really get to see but it has a very long takeoff run. This plane is not especially fast off the ground. Now, because this is a ground pounder, I'm going to be trying to do a strike mission on one of these bases, and then we're going to try and go for an air target or two with these magics. I am not expecting a miracle. This plane is not an especially good dogfighter. At least it's not supposed to be. This is my first time out in a mission with it, so we'll see what we get. All right, we're coming around on this strategic target. You're also going to notice there are some visual issues that the front bombs do not yet have pylons and stuff. I wouldn't read too much into that. And we're going to see how much damage these do. And of course, I did make a sacrifice. Less than half. I did make a sacrifice by taking the magic ones. So you could theoretically get a little bit more out of this if you went with a full load of bombs. So that's food for thought there. Alright, we're going to try and go in for this hunter. Some of these other aircraft are definitely faster than us. These are all still bots, though. So, who knows? This is probably going to be a complete disaster either way. Alright, this guy's going to try and climb up. That's not an especially good move in a hunter against an F4F. Alright, we'll try and turn back around here. And he crashed. Because he's a bot, and that's what bots do. But as you saw there, the turn performance on the Super Etendard, nothing really special yet. You can see if maybe I can come around on this other hunter. Looks like he's going to go over the top. I might get a good clear shot. There we go. That might be a good hit with the magic. He's got no countermeasures. As it should be. Alright, we're going to dive in down on this F-100. Keeping an eye on that J-35. Alright, good. We're still supporting slaving, as we all should. I'm going to wait for him to... Yep. Okay. Alright, now, do we have anything in range I can try and get guns on? I guess I'll try and do guns on this Jaguar. Again, not expecting much. No ACM bore sight mode on this radar set, and this is not an especially good dogfighter. Oh, got him. Okay, I'll take it. Let's come up in a vertical. Lost quite a bit of energy there, but it could have been a lot worse. No CCIP for the guns. So going after ground targets is blind-ish. See if we can get another pass on this A4B. Oh, I'm terrible, and we are not turning too well. Man, this thing stalling out in a high yo-yo. Oh, man. Yeah, the Super Etendard is not going to be a very notable dogfighter. But we got some bombs. It was less than half of a base for a full load of bombs. And we validated the magic ones and everything still slave and function correctly, as we kind of expected them to. That's the Super Etendard on the dev server. My first impression of this is that it's probably going to be more useful and pretty credible as close air support with that load of 4 paveways and a pair of magics. You know, at BR10, that seems to be fairly comparable for a weapons load and everything that you're going to see from other planes at this BR. They're not the biggest paveways, but if you're decent with the targeting pod, you'll be able to get some pretty accurate drops with them. But still, no exo set. As always, thanks for watching.